Hi, my name is Leonard LeBlanc. I'm filing a complaint against Writers Republic. They made a lot of promises. It was very rare they kept any of them. I'm trying to alert others to stay away from this scam. They didn't do as they promised. They didn't fulfill their obligations, and I'm trying to get a refund. I wrote a book and actually had it published that is explosively controversial. It discusses the real reason the US invaded Iraq during Gulf War II. I wasn't able to get it, uh, really get any traction on Amazon. They wouldn't sell me any advertising because of the controversial nature. I had to change the title 6 times, but even then, it didn't happen. My cousin out in California, who has several books in with them, highly recommended Writers Republic. He could not say enough nice things about them. He has 5 books in with them. So he kept telling me what wonderful people Writers Republic were, how honest they were, what a great job they did for him, and that I should completely trust them. I said, okay, no problem. The problem started when I spoke with a man named Mario Matos, and I explained I didn't really need help on publishing my book. I needed help on getting advertisement or promotion for my book. The first sign of trouble came when they gave me a lump sum to print my book. And I asked them several times, you need to break out by line item exactly what you're charging me for. You're giving me some vague things that you're doing, but it's not, I need some specifics. Uh, he said that the majority of the money had to go into these listing or placement fees in these big bookstores. I don't know, Barnes and Noble or Borders or whatever in New York City and internationally. Not only did these book listing fees have to be, or placement fees have to be paid, but there had to be financial guarantees that my book would be pulled out after some time in the future if it did not sell. But he could not put these books in there unless these fees were paid in advance. And I said, all right, no problem. Then they started in on, well, we need to get a treatment for your book because we're going to, excuse me, get this into these Hollywood production companies. I mean, we'll send your book in first, but they're going to ask us for a treatment to be written. A screenplay is best, but we can convince them to take your treatment. So almost immediately they came back and said, well, you're number 4 on Netflix in the line or the queue. Sony is looking at it. Bad Robot Productions is looking at it. We're getting a lot of interest. And then time went by and time went by. Well, we really need a treatment. We're getting bombarded with requests from these production companies to get a treatment. So I said, well, how much is that going to cost me? $4,000. Okay, not a problem. If they want it, I'll get it for you. That money went in. And then time passed and time passed. And I said, look, we really need to get this out to media, to influential people, to whomever. And I'm happy to pay to print the book so you can send it in. Oh, no, no, no. We do that, or we've been sending your book into these big book publishers in New York and these other influential people in media, but they keep sending the book back or they're refusing to look at your book. They don't even want to see it. It's too toxic. It's too controversial. It's surface of the sun hot. They're rejecting it. Okay. Well, you don't know everybody. What about if I'll pay you. Look, I'll send you a list of US and international people that I would like you to send the book to, and I'll pay for it. I'll pay you for postage and printing, whatever, just to get it in the hands of influential people, because that's where this book really needs to be. No, 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 no. We take care of that, blah, 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 blah. So time went on. And finally I said, look, I need to get this in a national advertising. What can we do? Well, before they offered to do radio and TV spots in Akron and Peoria and Winnemucca, $3,500, $3,600, $4,500 for like a 10-minute interview. I said, well, that's not going to fly. So finally, they mentioned, well, we can do a lady who has her own national radio hookup named Kate Delany, and she'll do it for $2,400. I said, all right, well, yeah, sure. For that national radio interview with somebody who's obviously a well known person from everything that I've checked online, and let's make it happen. So I sent the money in. First signs of trouble, or more signs of trouble, was they only gave a report to me 90 days after the first 90 days or 3 months sales. And it was a couple of $100. And I had requested a breakout. I said, all right, I made a few $100. Where were the books sold? What books were sold, hardback or paperback, and in what venue? Amazon, through your website, through Barnes and Noble, through these international booksellers overseas in the UK and wherever. Nothing ever came back. And I said, well, we're going to go with this national radio program. Yeah. Kate Delany will put you on national radio. And I'm waiting and waiting and waiting. And I'm getting a little exasperated. And I'm saying, when's this going to happen? Oh, it already happened. I said, when did this happen? Oh, we did a tape, but they didn't tell me when it was going to run because I had alerted friends and family who wanted to listen in. And I said, what in the heck? You didn't tell me? I repeatedly asked you, when was this going to run? Oh, well, okay. Well, she's going to run you again on her national radio end of the year special on Christmas Eve. I said, fine, all right. I'm not happy, but that's better than nothing. Well, supposedly it did run on Christmas Eve, but what Writers Republic said, well, it only ran in Tucson on this obscure radio station at 11 o'clock. And I'm going, this is ridiculous. Who's going to listen on Christmas Eve to a national radio? It doesn't sound very national to me. So I never got another report. I never got another statement. And I'm really pinging off my cousin. I'm going, what the hell is going on here? Sounds like a bunch of baloney. Well, this has been a year now. So I started looking at Writers Republic, do a little more investigation. Seems they have more than a few complaints. And on one website, they say, well, they're all in the Philippines. They're not in New Jersey. They're all Filipinos. They're in the Philippines. They're running this scam. I'm going, I'll buy that. I'll believe that one in a heartbeat. So I called Mario up and been in email contact with him. And I'm going, Mario, let's resolve this. Because my book never got into was obviously never put in any place. Uh, Give me a refund. Give me refund all this thousands of dollars in placement fees. Oh no, 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 no. Oh, that was just a favor. I'm going, whoa, Mario, hold it. You need to run the tape back of what you told me at the start. I said, this is ridiculous. Oh, well, we put your book out and we did this and we put a little gold seal on it and we did this. I said, yeah, Mario, not 4,000, not $3,600 worth. You didn't. And well, nobody wants your book and it's too controversial. I was going, wait a minute, Mario, time out. If my book was so controversial, which is the first words out of my mouth, why did you print my book? If you knew my book wasn't going anywhere in the marketplace, then why did you make trees go dead and why did you waste ink on my behalf? Oh, okay. Well, we're still okay because Hollywood's still looking at your stuff and no final decisions have been made. I'm going, Mario, hello, you who Earth to Mars, Mario, you told me that it was dead. It was dead in the book publishing industry. It was dead in Hollywood. It was dead everywhere. It, they didn't want to touch this with a barge pole. Oh, well, no, 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 we're still alive. We're still alive. Well, Mario, we're head of the lawyers. Okay. You guys are running a scam on me. You're based out of the Philippines. Yeah, you might have a little, some nephew sitting in Union City, New Jersey, answering the phone, but that's about it. You guys are scamsters, blah, 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 and a discussion. That's what brought me to you. Well, a refund. I want my money back, period. Uh, I granted they did put up a website, and granted they did put a little gold seal on my book, and granted they did produce a few copies. But on their advertisement, they said the authors can keep 80% of the royalties. Come to find out, I was making maybe $1.50 off of an Amazon sale. Maybe I was getting 10%, not 80%. So obviously, they're selling a lot more of my books than they're reporting. I also asked them for an audited book or book report. There is one company called IDN, I think, and that audits all the outlets where books are sold, and they produce this monthly report. I said, that's what I want. I want you to show me not little scribblings on paper, which I don't trust. You give me an audited report on my book so I can review it, or at least my lawyers can start reviewing it when I go to them. And then I'll believe that. So they're getting their money out of me. All these other services they said they were going to do, they didn't do. So fine, refund my money and I'll walk away. I would love to tell as many people as possible all about how I got screwed over by Writers Republic and warn them about the scam. Warn them that they're just going to get in way over their heads, very slick, but it's like punching a marshmallow. You ask for specifics, there are no specifics. It's always, well, it's somebody else will get back to you. I must have heard that 100 times. Well, it's not my job. It's somebody else's job, but I'll talk to that person in the office and they'll get back to you. Don't do it. Go to Amazon, have Amazon print your book on demand, which they will do, and then go out and buy your own advertising, either through Amazon or through somebody else. That's the cheapest, most honest, the best way. I have done that before, and I have been successful. This is my 5th book that I've done, and I've done 4 other books. They're all on Amazon, but they're ebooks right now. And I would say just do that. Steer way clear of these pay-to-print, predatory book publishers. maybe 1 in 100, I don't know, maybe 1 in 1,000 is honest. But from everything I've read, everything I've seen, they're just simply they're predators. Authors, it it looks like it's easy. It looks like it's very easy, but it's not. Uh, as as I've been told by somebody who's inside the media, inside publishing, they say it's all rigged. Everything is rigged for insiders. Everything is all set up, and if you're Madonna's nephew, sure you're going to get a book published. But if you're not Madonna's nephew, the chances of you getting a book published by these people or anybody, even a big bookseller, is nil. I have, I've lost count, hundreds of rejection slips on my book. I went to every single top 100 nonfiction book agent, to publishers. I sent manuscripts and letters, all rejected. Everything was shot down. But then again, another well-known author said, The Chronicles of Narnia by C.S. Lewis, a famous British author, he went through 900 rejection slips before somebody saw the charms of The Chronicles of Narnia. So I have been told by influential people that are in publishing, if someone in power, if someone in the business, someone who really is inside, if they like your book, then everyone will read it. They will make sure of that. But if you're not inside, if you're not an insider, if you don't know somebody in the business, then you're not going to go anywhere. And I have seen this repeatedly. I've read about this. Tom Wolfe, the famous American writer, did The Painted Word, famous book about art and sculpture. And he said within a 3 or 4 block area in New York City, there's a very tight clique or group of people that decides what is art and what is sculpture. And he went on to list dozens of masterpieces that are around the United States of the world that should be recognized as masterpieces. They're ignored. And he said there's a reason for this, because the little group of people, these art experts, these sculpture experts, ignore it because it's not in their little world. So I'm finding this out. Either you're inside or you're never going to get in. Saw this when I worked in Hollywood. Either you're an insider or you're trying to get inside. And if you're not an insider, we had an old saying, for every face you see on the screen, there are 1,000 failures. And that is very true. It's very, very difficult to break into both publishing, Hollywood, art, whatever it is. You need a lot of luck, but you also need a connection. I tried to get my wife to work for the United Nations, and I was told by people inside the UN the same thing. To get into the UN, you have to know somebody inside. If you don't know somebody inside the UN to recommend you, you're not going to make it. Anybody who walks in the door has a 0 chance of being hired.